welcome to episode, I think this is 5 of Archivist Sessions. Theoretically, the last for season 1 of the Mighty Nein animated series, if we don't yap too much. We are gonna theoretically try to get both episodes discussed in this one episode, but if it gets really, really long, we may split it in half.
We'll see. We'll see where the tide takes us, and as always, spoiler warning for the last 2 episodes of the Mighty Nein animated, and also the campaign.
Just all of C2.
As always, we like to talk about everything, so
yeah. We will try to note really major spoilers before we talk about it, but we will be talking about general details throughout, and that goes especially so for the very end of this episode, where we're going to be having like a season wrap discussion and talking about where we think the show might be going, hopes and fears, theories, all that sort of stuff. So that's probably going to be the most spoilery section. I spy Yasha.
She's ready. She's like, I'm finally here.
Episode 7 really just shoves you straight into it with Tasha's execution.
Oh my god, that was freaking brutal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to say about that, but holy violence.
Holy violence, yeah. And I mean, it's par for the course, right? Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, makes sense. Like, after the way episode 6 ended, like we talked about episode 6 being an episode that really just kept you on your toes. There was what felt like a huge divergence from the plot. And with Trent being arrested and tortured and questioned, but then you ultimately end up exactly where you started. Trent's got all the power, even more, theoretically.
More power now, yeah.
But he's got the king in his pocket, and it was such a clever display also of just the Cerberus Assembly's sliminess, the way that Vess just flips on a dime.
That was a fun... I guess it kind of was a reveal. I feel like up until that point, it's like you think she's the good guy, especially for new viewers.
Yeah.
Because she's like working with the Cobot Soul to arrest Trent, and then it's like, whoop.
But I mean, we also know that the Cobot Soul's got corruption in its ranks too, so it's like...
This is true.
It's still just, again, it's a good show because it's realistic.
Yeah.
It is realistic for there to be, like, in a system like this, for there to be corruption at so many levels.
Yeah, and it's something I really like about what they've done with the show as well. It's like you can understand like each character's motives, and ones that are maybe like a little more evil. It's like they don't feel like cartoonish, sort of like, I'm evil for the sake of it. Well, I guess we don't know much about Trent and his past, but like he still feels like a very grounded villain. You know what I mean?
He doesn't cause harm for the fun of it necessarily. Like, you can tell he enjoys it. He does enjoy causing pain. Like, it's very clearly displayed in the animated series, but he doesn't do it frivolously. He does it very, very intentionally and very specifically. And it's again, just like, how many times have we said, a well-crafted villain, a well-written villain? And I think Vess...
So good.
They really wrote Vess, I think, well in comparison, even just with the very brief glimpses we got of her, because it is a different kind of evil. I'm going to go back to the Game of Thrones, like, example, which is that, like, Cersei Lannister and fucking, I don't know, somebody else who is also evil, they are, they might both be considered evil, but they're different kinds of evil.
Yes.
They're working for their
own motivations. It's like they've got different goals.
Yeah. They, and like, I mean, the really interesting thing is, like, one of the things I love about, like, the Game of Thrones, I never finished it because it kind of fell apart, but like the concept that I loved behind it was that nobody, like, it is very, very rare in a real world scenario for people to just do evil for the sake of evil. Most of the time, those people are either ignoring the fact that it's evil because they want, what it's going to give them, like the power, the money, whatever it is. But a lot of the time, people are truly convinced that they are doing the right thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really like that complexity because, like, Vess, yes, she's evil, but I think there's also an aspect of her that believes she's doing something right for her
100%.
in becoming the Nonagon, which new fans will find out about that one way
later. Like, we'll probably get into that later, but, like, holy, we're getting a lot of, like, juicy lore stuff this season that I wasn't expecting.
They've really, really perfectly, like, expertly crafted it into a standalone fantasy series that you do not need the campaign to understand. And that's the goal.
Yes.
That was the goal, and they did it. And
they've done such a great job. Like, listening to what new fans are sort of saying about it, and I love getting on YouTube and watching reactions and videos from new fans and kind of like what their theories are and their thoughts are, because it's kind of like experiencing the campaign all over again fresh, because you're sort of seeing other people kind of like connecting the dots and trying to work it all out. It's so fun.
You also get the fresh perspective, which is like they're going to see things that we don't, because we have so much background knowledge that is going to cloud some new stuff for us. Like, that's something that I really appreciate. And I think, there was a part of me that was like really afraid of campaign fans being gatekeepy. And I'm like, no, let them in, because they're going to give us such a fresh look at something we already know through and love to death. And if they can find more things for me to love, great.
I'm all for it. I want to like experience these characters and this story in like every single way possible. And I've had a couple of friends who don't know anything about the campaign who I've either convinced them to watch, or they've just watched it of their own accord and messaged me and gone, "Hey, is this thing that you like never shut up about?
This is that shit you love, right?"
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah,
it's
oh my god,
it's actually kind of dope.
Yeah, and they're like, "Holy shit, this is so good. I want more." And I'm like, they've done something really clever with this.
There's 550 hours of it on YouTube if you're willing.
That's interesting. I've seen people who are like, "Nah, I just want to experience what the show gives me." And I'm like, fair. I respect that as well.
I think it would be really interesting, like, if there was like someone or a group of people like doing something like this, like a podcast out there, but like the flip, where they watch they wait till the entire animated series is done first and then go into the campaign. I would be sat listening to that podcast. I would be interested to hear what they think and what they say.
Somebody do it. Somebody do
it. Like,
please.
If you got one listener, it'll be me. Like, I swear to God, it would be
at least two. There's at least us two for sure.
Because, like, but like the cold open, I think, was such a good way of like, of really like kind of slamming you back into the reality of what's going on. Because episode 6 was very much felt like side quest episode. It was the Nidus episode, no?
Yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah, so
I think, yeah.
And this feels like a really like forceful re-entry to the main plot.
Oh,
which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
And I also thought it was the way that Astrid and Aedwulf talk to each other in the crowd is interesting. Like, it feels very veiled. Like, it feels like we're not supposed to be able to read much into it, but it was giving to me like they're a little bit afraid of how much power Trent is amassing. And it makes me feel as though, like, when you couple it with what they do later in the episode with Caleb, you start to realize that, like, Trent hasn't set himself up for as much success as he thought he has, because he's made the three of them care about each other too much, because they will be loyal to each other before they'll be loyal to him.
Oh yeah, and we see that essentially.
Yeah, and like
in a way,
the way they talk about it, like, we'll deal with Bren permanently. Like, it at the very top of the episode, it makes it sound like they're going to kill him. It's not what they do at all.
No, they do the opposite. They give him a second chance, really.
You have to go. But we'll get to that. But like, I found it interesting that like it did give a little bit of like, especially with the way that like Aedwulf speaks, he does sound afraid. He really does sound afraid. Yeah. It's like not even the Cobot's soul can stand up to Master.
Which I really liked that kind of mentioning of the soul and sort of what that represents in society, this society that they have as well, where it's like Trent is like transcending everything at this point, and he's trying to get to this place where he's like above everything, which I feel like he pretty much gets there. Like everyone is just like, holy shit, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. After that, we head into the evening nip, which is just pretty short. It's a pretty short scene. It's Caleb getting his amulet, and I think the gentleman like briefly asks like, "What do you want it for?" And he's just like super. Oh no, sorry. They ask the gentleman, "What are you going to do with the old thing?" Which is the compass, and he's very secretive and vague. And we find out what he's going to do with it later in the episode too.
Which crazy, but makes sense. Like where
really
they
cool
found
thread,
that.
really cool thread to have connected. And I have to wonder if like Matt had that in mind during the campaign. Like I'd love to know if Matt had the idea of the gentleman has probably done a couple jobs for the Cerberus Assembly because he's a smuggler, like especially for Vess, who'd be looking for those sorts of items because we know what she's campaign fans know what she's looking for. So I thought that was a really cool thread to connect, and I also found it interesting that he kind of forces the second job offer on them. He doesn't let them leave.
What do you mean? Like
he explains like, "Hey, I've got another job." Blah blah blah, and then like Bo goes to walk out, and the Goliath comes and like stops her, and he doesn't necessarily force them to take the job, but he forces them to listen to it.
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, well, I guess he really wants that job done, so and the assignment, I can't remember the exact details he gives in that moment, but there's a moment where they connect it back to Trent, and then there's this moment where Bo and Caleb sort of like look at each other because at this point they think Trent's, or at least Bo thinks Trent's been dealt with, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, realize... oh shit, they're gonna award this guy, so he's gotten away. And I think Bo has they have this moment where they like sort of look at each other and go,
contact going like, oh fuck, this is not good.
It's really bad.
Yeah. And
motherfucker got free. Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, but it doesn't feel like much happens in there. Like what happens like pretty much almost immediately they head outside. Bo's like really indignant about Trent not having been dealt with and just basically immediately walks off to go find Dyron.
Yeah, which fair.
Because you'd be like...
You would.
If Tasha's dead, or like, no, she doesn't even know that Tasha's dead yet. She's just I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and like I feel like she cares for Dyron as well, so it's sort of like, shit, like this, my friend is potentially in...
It's also like...
danger.
It's the first authority figure who's probably given her the time of day and actually tried to like mentor her and help her, so she's immediately like latching on. Yeah,
which fair enough. I'd probably do the same. To be fair.
Traumatized baby.
Yeah, but yeah, we basically get this scene where they all sort of like start going off on their own separate ways. We get a few like teary goodbyes, like Jester just being the sweetest thing ever, and hugging Caleb, hugging Molly, and it's just it's kind of sad.
I think Caleb like sort of half-heartedly goes like, I think we should do the job, but it falls apart before it really gets anywhere because like he's very clearly still intent on going after Trent, and we get this scene outside was like cute for a lot of like cute and sad for a lot of reasons because it gave us a couple of like campaign moments sort of built into one, which is steal something pretty for Jester, don't steal from happy people.
Yeah. Love that line.
And then also Caleb like gently questioning. He's like he doesn't force it. He's like just very gently questions the Lucian thing, and Molly's just like, yeah, I think it's best the past stay right where it is for the both of us, eh?
He's like, he's hiding from that past, but then as we see later, he sort of goes after it anyway.
He can't help but be intrigued, yeah.
Which, hello?
Yasha said, we're not talking about Yasha enough.
Yeah, honestly, fair girl.
This is.
I'd be like,
Have
talk
we?
about
I don't.
me all the time.
We've surely made it clear in a previous episode that this is Kat Yasha.
I think so. I think she's made a
Named
few
after
appearances.
Campaign Yasha.
Yasha. Yep. Yep. Famous name.
But yeah, I also the little moment of Molly giving Jester the Chaos and Joy card. I think that's really cute because that's also another flash forward. That's a flash forward to like a really, really end game moment of the campaign, which I won't go into. Like, it is a huge. It's too much to explain, but
it's not worth explaining.
It's convoluted, but it's a cute moment that I just think like it's one of the another one of those moments of you can see how much time and effort and care they have put into adapting this, because they've brought something from the final episode of the campaign into the first season of the animated series. Like,
that's crazy.
They're doing it so carefully.
Don't show your butthole,
it's
please.
so good. I have to blur it.
She got close. Yeah. She wants to come on my lap. You're gonna show your butt. Nobody wants to see that. Can you just sit somewhere? This is constant whenever I'm working. It's like in my face, on my lap,
like,
showing everyone her
computer.
butt. I've been off the computer for days now, so please let me have this.
Yeah, she's like, I thought you learnt your lesson and now you're back on that dang computer.
Hates it. Genuinely hates it.
Next scene I just titled Find Familiar.
That's a good name? Name for it?
We got Frumpkin, and Frumpkin's like properly back. Well, Frumpkin is properly... This version of Frumpkin is properly here.
Yes.
He's not going to disappear because of
familiar
the shitty components.
Frumpkin? Oh, wow. Frumpkin. Yeah.
It's like, I always like... sometimes I wonder what new fans think of, like, if they don't know anything about D&D, I wonder if they're like, is that really Frumpkin? It's not. It's a fey creature who looks like Frumpkin.
Yeah, which... Sad.
Really sad. But I thought it was really cool.
We'll take it.
Finally get him back in. And one of my notes is, it's so sad knowing that Caleb knows that isn't Frumpkin, but he just continues to treat it like Frumpkin, because it's like probably the only thing that's like healing that part of him.
Yeah, which understandable. Like, oh my god, I can't believe that was like 2 episodes ago.
And then talking to the cat like in Zemnian, like, the goblin, no, I'd only put her in danger.
Yeah, which interestingly, like this scene, we sort of start to see Caleb kind of push Not away. Like, he's sort of like, she's trying to help, and he's kind of being a little bit of an ass, like kind of pushing her back.
Ways. And I think the party splitting up really probably got to him a little bit. Like, that's kind of the theme of the episode, right? Like, all of them split up. They go, okay, I guess our time together is done. Scatter into the wind. And then all of them realize that they're not having anywhere near as much fun, or they don't feel as safe, or they don't feel as, as good as they were when they were together, which I think is really nice. It kind of brings back that theme of, like, Molly talking at the end of episode 4 after the fight, like, maybe we're fated to be together, or maybe it's Carney bullshit. It's looking more like they're fated to be together than it is Carney bullshit, hey? Because all of them are like, hey, I miss those chuckle fucks.
Yeah, and we get more of that kind of like hints towards fate when we get to sort of Molly's section of this episode. But what I was going to say before with that sort of Caleb scene of him sort of like pushing Not away, I feel like it's such an interesting kind of like display of like what trauma can do to you, right? Like, you sometimes when you feel safest, that is when you start pushing people away, because you're like, that's scary. I don't want to lose you. Like,
yeah.
And so I quite liked seeing that.
Abandonment. Yeah. It's like, if I push you away before you can hurt me, I'm protecting
then it's not gonna hurt as bad. And you know what? Valid.
And I also leaving her a bottle and a button, and it looks like that, they in the live stream after the first 3 episodes, they talked about there being a beige button with a thread that was really important.
Yeah.
Looks like it's Caleb's.
Now, which is like, Oh, it's like just shows how well he knows her already, right? That it's
Yeah.
like she has this love
Well,
for
all of them.
buttons and trinkets, and
Yeah.
then which
Even
we'll get
Molly
to
later in
next
episode 7 or 8.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, in episode 8.
So it's nice. It's like the fact that they're already vibing with each other, and that's why I
They
think
know
they
each
all
other.
feel like they need to keep going. You know?
Yeah. And we get sort of more of not sort of like alcoholism here. Oh wait, no, that's later.
That's a little
That's
bit
later,
later.
actually.
Yeah, I got a note about that.
Yeah. I jumped the gun there.
Next up,
Later, guys.
Next up, we've got a really short but intense scene between Virat and Essek.
This was rough to watch, actually.
It was. I really thought that Virat would be softer with him. I really thought Virat would be a little bit more fatherly, like that, because that's kind of the vibe I've been. They're friends, but Virat is definitely sort of the giving sort of gruff older vibes.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of theorizing that Virat would be a little bit softer, if only because Essek saved his life in the battle. But it's kind of it was kind of a sharp reality check to be like, oh no, this is like a cult. They're indoctrinated. He really is committed to this cause in the same way that the Bright Queen is to almost her own demise, because she's got Typhros. So it's one of those it almost felt like I almost got too comfortable in the, oh no, they'll be reasonable. No.
No, it's
that's been brainwashed out of them, bro.
Yep. Yeah, and I guess probably how Virat's sort of seeing it as it's Essek's taken away his chance to continue with all of his lives. And we had that scene, I think in episode 1 or 2, where Virat's saying I haven't had the chance to be a father yet, and how he's, that's something he really wants. So I guess there's all these other layers where it's Essek's betrayal has taken away all this stuff from him as well. Even though he did save his life, it's
and then he still gives Essek a chance to come clean himself. And we
which
get
I liked.
Which I do like. It still shows that he cares, but we also get the audience gets to know that Dieta overhears, and I almost immediately knew that she was gonna throw herself on the grenade as soon as that scene popped up. I was like, oh, she's gonna go straight to the Bright Queen to protect Essek.
Yeah, which is valid,
valid, but it's also sad.
Son, right? Yeah.
And I'll talk about it when we get to that scene later, but again, the cult, the ritualistic practices of it, the fact that it's unbelievably traumatizing, forcing Essek into that kind of position, as much as he's kind of a piece of shit, right? It is awful imagine forcing your son into that position.
I feel like
it's hard for us to wrap our minds around because it's so alien to we would not, I don't think either of us would ever find ourselves in a situation like that, because it's not.
No, I feel like it's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible to even know how that would feel in that moment, because it's we'll never never experience
but it's even just trying to imagine it, I'm like, God, that's awful. That's so awful. And it is such a clear motivating reason for him to turn into Campaign Essek.
Which
to shed the
we'll get to that later, and I really want to see how our reaction to that scene, because we were cheering, man. So good times.
I sound terrible. I listened to 4 seconds of it, and I'm like, it's terrible.
It's fine. She'll be right.
Next is the brief scene in front of the Pillar Trove.
Mm-hmm.
Which is Jester and Ford splitting up. Ford is super distracted by Ukatoa.
Which I get it. A bit confusing, right?
In caps, Ukatoa says, "Learn, motherfucker."
He's really trying. Ukatoa wants him bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's trying to get free, isn't he?
My memory of the campaign is
same.
Rocky, but I think it's something along those lines where he needs a vessel or something, right?
I think so, yeah. And I liked this scene it was sad, but it was like romantic as well. It was like a cute little setup for like future stuff. And listen, I'm just gonna read this word for word, and if people get upset at me, so be it. Love how early they're setting this up, if only because I know it will upset Bo Jesters, not gonna lie.
That's valid. I can't argue with that at all.
Listen, I got nothing against the ship necessarily, but the campaign shippers, oh my god.
It got out of hand. There was some like wild behavior happening.
And I think both of us, you've said like before, it would really amuse me if it just did not come up in the show at all. Like if
it would be amusing.
I feel like
I still sort of want to see it. At least in a subtle way, and this is something a lot of people have been talking about in general, because there's a few characters who sort of develop some kinds of feelings for Jester, right? Yeah. And I feel like for some characters, like, it's
everybody falls in love with her a little bit, but like I just think it doesn't need to be a really direct, explicit thing.
No,
like we can have a couple of moments of like Bo just going like, you know, like hard eyes a little bit, but like, you know, whatever, brush it off. Like that could be the end of it, and I'd be fine. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and same for I guess. Well, it's interesting. Sorry, side railing. I don't even know what the term is. Sidetracking quite a bit here. It's like it's interesting with Caleb because it really doesn't actually come up in the campaign.
Never
acknowledged. He doesn't talk about it ever. It's only
Liam talks about it outside, like above table. Yeah, which I think is interesting.
It's like,
but I think they're still going to play into that because like Caleb, a lot of his communication is like almost in his silence. You know, it's in his demeanor. Yeah. Because there'll be a shot of his face and he'll be looking and he'll have like all those harsh lines and stuff animated in, but then like, you know, just for half a second you see it soften. Like that's where you see a lot of Caleb's emotion come through, at least at the moment. And so I feel like they could play into that for Widow Jest a little bit.
Yeah, because I'd like to see, like, it doesn't need to be, as you said, like, explicitly mentioned, but, like, it would be fun to kind of see a little bit of it in, you know, his face and sort of stuff he's doing, which is how it was in the campaign as well. So it can be subtle, but I feel like it should still be there because I feel like it's important for his overall sort of character growth.
Yeah.
In a way. So,
for sure.
This
Bowen. Oh, sorry. You got something else?
I was just gonna say, with this Forrester. I don't know why I can
Furesta.
But it's like his name is just Ford anyway.
The Emerald and the Sapphire is another way that people refer to them.
Interesting. That sounds like a lesbian
and the Sapphire.
Ship, sounds like a gay ship, though.
I mean, Ford, like, he might be the token straight of the group, but he still is a little fruity.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little fruity.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him interact with Molly and Caleb, like...
Yeah.
You might not realize it, but
it's just like a tiny little bit fruity.
I was going to say about this scene, I liked that we're kind of seeing the setup for, like, their arc in general, right? Where it's like Ford sort of needs to sort of work out who he is first before he can actually sort of pursue and reciprocate Jester's feelings. Because like early on in the campaign, it's mostly her.
Oh,
sort of like and laying it on, and he's kind of standoffish.
It's the whole meta thing, right? Like for people, if you weren't a campaign fan, like the whole deal with Forrester is that Travis was essentially a no romance D&D player. He was like, I don't want to, I don't care. It just feels too complicated. Ugh. And in to be fair, in campaign 1, he played a character that wasn't ever going to really end up in a romance. He had an intelligence of 6. Like he was like functionally kind of a toddler in like a huge beefy Goliath body. So like he would like hit up brothels and stuff like that, but it was never going to be like, he was never going to do like romancy stuff in campaign 1.
Yeah,
Ford
which
was
makes
his
sense.
like for like in terms of like Critical Role, his first true opportunity to be romanced, and his wife Laura Bailey went, I will romance you, full stop, no questions. It will happen and you don't have a choice.
And he's like, good luck. Good luck.
And he's like, no. And then, you know what? Laura Bailey got
Look what happened. And you know what?
Good.
I can't blame him. I feel like
and I think
Jester
it works
is
well.
so endearing as well. It's like you can't not.
I think it works really, really well for the storyline that they ended up having, which is like you're talking about Ford needs to figure himself out first. It comes across in the campaign and it's coming across in the series too that he is not even necessarily picking up on Jester flirting with him a lot. Like he is to a degree.
He's a bit clueless.
But he's also like so distracted and so not focusing on it that like I think he thinks it's a lot more like juvenile's not the right word, but like it's a lot more shallow than it is. Like I think he's like, oh, she's kind of, everybody likes her. She seems to be like a little flirty with everyone. I'm not going to take it that seriously. I don't think she's that interested in me. But you know, like it is fun to give a little back, you know, like to and fro, like that kind of vibe. And it comes across in the campaign too, in that like he's like, I got to figure out my warlock shit, dude. I don't have time for this. And I really like that they're still playing with that and still sort of showing that Ford's like way too distracted to be able to do that right now, even though it's very clearly being set up in the future.
Yeah, I think for Jester too as well. Like right now, like, you know, she's quite sheltered. Like all of her experience of love and romance is from, you know, like tough love and things like that. So she sees Ford as this like character from a romance novel, but like he's not that, right? And I think that's part of her growth as well, is realizing that
part of their arc is also Jester coming to realize that real life is not a book. It's not a fantasy novel. And it's like, it's honestly like, spoilers for the campaign and probably for the animated series, the moment that they do actually start to come together as a couple is the moment that Jester actually starts to back off. Right? And I think that's kind of perfect because she spends like so much of the campaign like really just like gunning after him, like really, really wants to be with him because she's got this really like idealized, fantastical idea of what a relationship is supposed to be in her head. And it's the moment that she realizes that that's never going to be true. It's complete fantasy. And she starts to sort of accept the reality that they're in, and she starts to sort of settle. And it's not necessarily that she's no longer interested in him, she's just not chasing him as hard.
Yeah,
and I think that's the moment where I think that's also the moment where Ford goes, oh, wait a minute.
Hang on. Wait a second.
You know, and they have like there's a moment like in late game arc where, you know, there's sort of like it's almost like a close call, not death, like a close call with death, but like there is a moment of realization where Ford goes, I can't waste any more time. I can't waste any more time. I can't
gonna be
fuck around
so
anymore.
Juicy.
I've got to figure it out. I've got to do it.
Yeah.
So,
which like, I love that
really
journey
like
for them.
that they've set that up so early. It's going to be like one of the things, this whole series, the whole season 1, what it's done is just, I think it's really perfectly set up what is going to be a ton of really satisfying conclusions later down the line. And you can just tell that really satisfying conclusion's coming, and you're like, yes, and they're laying the foundation for it perfectly.
I can see it. Yeah. And it's going to be a fun journey, that's for sure. Like, even for people who know the campaign well, I think they're going to throw some stuff at us to keep us on it. Well, they already have, right?
Season 1 kept us on our toes. Like,
it's like, I had no idea what was going to happen, even though I sort of knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, next is Bo Diron.
Bo Diron!
Which is a cute little scene. Because they like Bo's heading towards the Cobalt Soul, and Darren's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You can't go there."
Fucking
and Bo's
dare!
Like, why? They killed Tasha.
Which I feel like that's a crazy moment for Bo as well, going like, "Oh shit! Like this guy is really
bad,
really bad. Like he's gone after the Cobalt Soul, which is
I think
crazy.
One of the things that Diron says is he's proved to King Dwindle that he is too useful to kill."
Bad.
And then like
bad
basically
vibes. Those two together,
the whole conversation is like, hide your blue, trust no one, lay low until I get in contact. And then there's also the really cute moment at the end of like, Xenos said you hadn't earned your staff yet. This was mine. And it's that I really like that we were talking about before, like I don't know if it was before or after we started recording, but it's the moment of like, this is the first like authority figure, the first mentor Bo has had that has really actually like invested in her and has
And
seen
believed in
something in
her.
her. Yeah, sees something in her, believes in her, invested time in her, wants her to do well. And that token of "this was mine, now it's yours" would be
And that's a
so significant to her.
yeah, and I feel like in martial arts in general, like your weapon is like that's a really significant
It's something that you
thing.
take
Like you
care of.
spend years like refining and learning that
Yeah.
craft for that particular weapon, right? So for her to pass it on to Bo, like that's not a
Yeah.
small thing at all. So I love that moment because in the campaign she just has the stuff from the start.
Yeah,
It's not
which is like
special or anything.
D&D starting gear.
Makes sense.
You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, this makes it a lot more special, and it feels like it's mirroring a lot of the other characters. You know, it's mirroring the Falchion a little bit. It's mirroring the
Mhm.
Molly's scimitars. You know, I think it's really nice to like have those sorts of parallels in the party as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then
Ugh,
this part is the what you were talking about before. We move into the not
that's right.
realizing Caleb is gone, and she has a moment of anger. She throws the bottle
At
at
herself in the mirror.
herself in the mirror, yeah, and then she realizes that she's just wasted the only alcohol she has, and it's that
Oh,
really gritty, like upsetting display of like the desperation that can come with addiction.
and it was like it's hard to watch.
It is, and it's like, but it's also one of those things that I'm so appreciative of because they're not shying away from it.
Yeah, which is good because I feel like we've touched on this a bit as well in the campaign. A
It was
lot of the
very
times it
jokey.
was kind of played off as a joke and like comedic, which is fair enough for a D&D game.
Yeah,
But
very
I'm
different
so
format.
glad they've flipped that on its head
Yeah,
in the animated show and gone, we're taking this seriously. Like this is a
yeah.
serious thing she's going through.
It's the format, right? Like I think like when you think about like a D&D game that is 4 hours long and is just like largely improv, it just brings a whole different vibe. You may not be addressing like hard issues like that in the same kind of direct way, but you
Mm.
do in TV. You kind of have to. You can't like I feel like if they had made it any more of a joke, it just would have completely like read as
Would have felt kind of weird.
it would have felt off. Like it not disingenuous, but it just would have been like, oh, it's like it's a really ugly reality that a lot of people have to face.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
really enjoy that they aren't shying away from it, and that they are being
Yeah.
really, really in your face, and like we don't care if you're uncomfortable because this is the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Oh man, all these characters are just so well written. Like I can't add anything else to that. It's just well written. They feel well rounded, and they're
Yeah,
all just so unique too.
it's all good.
It's
And
great.
honestly, we don't have to spend too long on each individual scene here because we're 40 minutes in. And also, we talked about, I don't know if, again, I can't remember if it was before or after we started recording, but this episode didn't necessarily feel filler, like a filler episode, but it was an episode it was very fast paced. It was very like,
Mm,
felt like a lot of tying up of loose ends in Zadash because we know they're not going to be in Zadash much longer. So there was just
yeah.
like a lot of like, very like, kind of keeps you moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I
like
feel like
next we run into Molly. Molly is like
he's following Kree.
last we heard he's let's leave it in the past, right? But he can't help himself. He's kind of
Hmm.
desperate to know because this person seems to have a lot of knowledge about him.
Why would you like? I feel like you couldn't let that
You'd
thread
be
loose.
obsessed. You'd become obsessed
You'd
with
want
it.
to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's
Especially
like
when he can't
human
remember
nature.
anything and he's
Human
having
nature.
flashes of
You would be so curious. You'd be desperate to figure out what they know.
yeah,
Even if you're
definitely.
terrified of your past, you'd be like, oh, maybe I can. I don't want to talk to you directly, but I can glean something maybe if I follow. And what I thought was interesting was that this sort of implies, like, I don't know if we have much of a confirmation for this in the campaign, but it sort of implies that the Tomb Takers are operating out of Zadash in early campaign,
Yeah.
which is curious because I wouldn't have thought that Vess was spending a lot of time in Zadash. I would have thought Vess is spending most of her time in Rexentrum.
Well, it's
But they could
possible
have
they've
bases in
changed
both
that for yeah, they've probably got multiple kind of
locations.
hideouts or whatever, and it's possible they've changed it up for the show. Like they've switched the locations of things already quite a bit. So,
True.
but yeah, he does these creepy like blood hunter
to see what's
stuff, and he just sees this room. It's like full of blood, and I feel like something I've noticed with Molly a couple of times. He almost not has an aversion to, but like when he sees something that's been very violent, like I feel like he has like a different reaction to it to some of the other characters. Maybe a bit more kind of like.
I wonder if it's a latent blood hunter thing.
Yeah.
Could be. But it's all coming across very cult like. He can like when he does the blood hunter thing, he also you can hear the chanting, like the ritualistic chanting.
It's creepy.
A lot of cult themes going on this season.
Yeah, actually that's very true.
Quite a few like parallel sort of cult things. And then the next, again, this felt like such a fast-paced episode. The next was Dawn
It was
Father's...
cutting back and forth really fast.
Yeah. The next scene is what I think... I actually never checked, but my guess was that it was the Dawn Father's temple.
I think that's what I saw other people saying.
Yeah, I think it looks like Pelor. Like it's very Pelor coded. Like bright yellow sun, themes. And it's very clearly like Ford's just like... Do gods speak to people? Because there's some dude in my head saying shit to me.
The way he's just asking all these questions, I thought was very fun. He's just like, he's got no fucking clue what's going on, and he's just trying to get answers, and he's doing his best.
He's an orphan from the coast. Like,
poor little
he
orphan
would not
boy.
have had any like understanding of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially
I feel like he came to the right place.
Half orc, I don't know. See, like, I feel like half orcs, if there was like a deity that they tend to in like the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount or whatever, it'd probably be like the Stormlord. Like, half orcs are generally like the war god of some kind, which I guess Dawnfather does like make a little bit of sense. But like, I wonder if he sought out the Dawnfather might have just been the biggest temple in the city.
I feel like that would check out.
I was like, I wonder why they particularly chose Dawnfather instead of... I wonder if maybe he did visit a Dawnfather temple in the campaign and I'm just forgetting, because like part of me thinks it might have been a little bit more interesting if it had been a temple for the Wild Mother.
That would be interesting. I do think that... So there's like a C3 like character Easter egg in the second scene at that temple. I think that's why they picked that.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you want me to spoil that C3. So it's
is it Sam's character?
I think one of Sam's other characters, which I've not got up to that character. Like you see him in the...
Oh, okay, cool.
In the temple, I think he's a Minotaur or something.
Yeah, I remember him playing a Minotaur after FCG.
Yeah, so I think that's why they've
FCG's death.
Swapped it, maybe, is because they wanted to sneak that character introduction in, which was kind of fun.
Very curious. I also, like, the notes that I had here, like, I think we talked about this. We might have talked about it in the last episode, or it could have been in between, but this whole conversation does feel a little bit like more set up for potentially a Calamity movie, because this conversation about do gods talk to people, do gods talk to their followers, like, and sort of Ford finding out that like gods can... The priest, the cleric essentially tells him that gods can occasionally choose a champion, and that's really, really relevant. That's going to become really relevant for The Legend of Vox Machina very shortly. Once they finish the Chroma Conclave arc, they're going to be entering their endgame arc, which involves a lot about the gods, a lot about the prime deities specifically. And so it feels like a little bit of setup for that, and that also feels like it could be set up for Calamity movie stuff, because it's all very interconnected.
There's got to be a Calamity movie in the works. Like, I feel like, especially with all the Nidus stuff last episode, right? Like, they're laying the groundwork for it. And I know Marisha has talked so much about she wants to make a Calamity movie, like, badly.
Do it, Marisha.
Make it happen, girl.
I honestly, if Amazon won't do it, do another Kickstarter. I'll fucking pay for it. Like, I swear to God,
Riley's gonna fund the whole movie himself.
Critter Hug of Death, we would. I 100% would. I believe that we would destroy that Kickstarter if we needed to do it, because it would be incredible. And I really specifically, just in case Marisha is watching, you have to bring Bleem in for the Bolo cameo. You have to bring Brennan in for Bolo.
It'll happen. For sure. I feel confident. My name is
Bolo. I'm going to be a reporter.
Oh, bless his
soul.
I
don't even necessarily need the whole Calamity movie. Can somebody just animate Loquacious Seely's speech at the end? The broadcast speech, because it was fucking incredible. It was one of those moments where you're like, Sam Riegel, you fucking bastard. You sit there and you joke about not knowing how to play this game, and then you rip that shit out of your ass. Get fucked.
He's insane. He's such an insane player. And Sam, like, if you're watching this, we love it.
I'm so silly goofy. I'm so silly goofy. I'm going to counterspell it fucking 9th level to... I was trying to save that spell to save Vax's life. Bitch! Ugh, fucking...
He's crazy. He's crazy.
It makes me mad, a good way. He's so good at it.
And he's so humble about it. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm like, you just punched everybody in the face.
Yeah, and he does it every fucking campaign.
Have you watched his Scanlan speech?
I think I've seen clips of it.
Like you know what happens with Scanlan post Chroma Conclave? Yeah. Spoilers for The Legend of Vox Machina, because I don't think this has happened in the show yet.
No,
spoiler for Campaign 1 in Legend of Vox Machina, Scanlan for a time leaves the party because he feels underappreciated.
Maybe that did happen in the show already. I think that's where they ended. Or he leaves. He's gone off.
Because I feel like it happens after the Chroma Conclave. Have they finished the Chroma Conclave arc?
You know, I should know this because I watched it recently, but I watched it in like
season 3.
A blur. Because I watched it in a blur. Yeah, because it ends and they've all kind of gone off and they're all doing their own.
Yeah, maybe. But like so Scanlan, like the actual campaign episode in which he does that, like Sam had planned it. He pre-planned it with Matt, obviously, because he had a backup character that, like, he had a new character to bring in same episode. He knew Scanlan was heading in that direction anyway, but the speech that he pulls out of his ass is fucking brutal. It is soul crushing, and I'm like, you sit there and you act all silly goofy like you're just making jokes, and then you emotionally destroy the entire table and the entire audience, and it's rude.
It is very rude, and makes me really excited for Knott's arc. Because, like, that one, spoilers for Campaign 2, that one is, like, got to be one of the most brutal, like, and surprising storylines. Like, I was not expecting this guy
so dark.
To whip that out.
So dark. It's especially because, like, Sam's whole gimmick, like, his whole joke going into each campaign so far has been, I don't choose who I play, I just get Liam to choose who. Liam says, you play a goblin rogue, and I say, okay, and I do it. And then he turns it into the most, again, soul-crushing, despairingly horrifying backstory that you've ever heard.
Absolutely horrifying. Like,
it's crazy.
I won't say, because if anyone watching hasn't seen the campaign yet, that one should stay a surprise, because it's like...
It's big.
You will not... Well, we might see it coming, because they might lay in they're going to lay it
in a little bit more, but in the campaign, it was like out of left field.
I was like, what now?
What? You said, repeat that?
What?
Drowned?
Please say that again.
Huh?
Because of what?
Anyway.
Crazy. You know what? I'm not going to sidetrack. We can talk about it at the end.
We're 50. So next, Invulnerable Vagrant! Enchanter Pumatso!
Pumatso. So glad we got Matt voicing Pumat.
It's classic.
It's just
needed.
Incredible. And it's just iconic.
I really loved that. I feel like I'm sure we've seen Furbolgs in the background, but I feel like this is the first like really forefront Furbolg we've seen, which is cool. And it's a little flash forward to Caduceus. Ooh!
Oh my god!
So excited for Caduceus.
Oh, I love that man so much. I can't wait to see him.
Okay. Big campaign spoilers. Big campaign spoilers. I wasn't the biggest fan of Molly in the campaign, and I ended up loving Caduceus. Like, Caduceus's vibe is just fucking perfect. It's so... honestly, it's one of my favorite characters at Talison's. Like, I just find 100%. Like Taliesin plays the asshole well, but I think Caduceus feels like his magnum opus for me a little bit, you know, in the same way that Jester is Laura's for me.
Agreed, 100%.
I'm so, as much as it sucks because like I'm loving show Molly a lot more than I liked campaign Molly, so it's going to be harder to let him go. But oh my god, I'm so excited for Caduceus. I'm so excited for Caduceus.
I can't wait, even though I know what it means, and I know. Big campaign spoilers. What happens to Molly? It's going to be worse in the show. I can feel it already, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel that it means Caduceus is coming.
Caduceus is coming. His vibe is perfect. He's the perfect calm vibe that the Mighty Nein needs to like keep them mostly level.
And a cleric.
And also Arrow Ace.
Yes.
Arrow Ace rep.
Yes.
Let's go. So good.
He's gonna look like that little sneak peek into what Furbolgs look like in that art style has me really excited as well.
And he's gonna be so tall. Like he's
gonna be taller than Yasha.
I can't wait for like I'm sure there's gonna be a frame at some point in the series where we can see the entire party, but Caduceus's head's just cut off.
Yeah, I wonder because they've already made Yasha
taller,
so much taller than she was in the campaign. Like, how they're gonna balance that, like all the heights of the characters. Maybe they won't make him
I feel like it's
that much taller than Yasha.
The scaling's already like iffy because like remember we talked about like how sometimes it was really hard to tell that Aurelia was a halfling because of just the angle.
I was like, that looks like a child.
Yeah, so it's like, but sometimes it just looked like she was regular scale, like she maybe shorter than Bo, but still like she didn't seem like a halfling in some shots. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm curious, but very excited.
Interesting.
One of the other notes I had here was like I really liked that they made the Invulnerable Vagrant like a very particularly different vibe to the magic shops we've seen in the Legend of Vox Machina, because like in Legend of Vox Machina it's all like pretty much Guild Wars Glorious Goods, which is like ostentatious, wealthy, bougie luxury vibe, you know, whereas this, it was like a much more humble shop, even though it was still like really pretty, you know, and still like really pretty colors and stuff like that. But I liked the different vibe and the different design of the store. I thought that was cool.
It felt very fun. Also, and we got lots of Easter eggs.
Oh yeah,
in that shop. Holy shit!
Also, just before I forget, Caleb's magical gold transformation with the prestidigitation is so funny.
That was so funny. Like he looked
shing.
So different. I was like, who is this man? I don't know this man.
Clean.
That's a clean boy.
Yeah, I wrote a note. Caleb swiping a spell, picking things up from Not.
Yeah. Also, like, I wonder because he didn't use it in this season, so I wonder, you know, we'll get
I feel like we're gonna get a lot of like little looks into him like copying, because like Liam spent so much time in the campaign finding and like copying spells into his spell book to amass like you know, power essentially as a wizard. That's what wizards are. Like, you can have as many spells as you want as a wizard, you just can only prepare so many per day. So as long as you've got the funds and the resources in the world that you're playing in, you can just like hoard shit.
Which is like kind of fun to see that. And we see that in the next episode as well, where he's
in Lord Sutan's house.
Yeah, he wants that spell book.
Anyway, we can keep going. Because next is the short scene between Dieta and the Bright Queen, where Dieta comes clean about having Ty for us.
My only note I had for this was, and they were roommates?
It's so implied that they used to fuck. It's so implied they used to fuck. 100%. Because like it's like the hand on the thing and the fucking like the
little gay ass forehead touch. Like, come on, that shit is gay.
But yeah, like I thought that like that was the confirmation of like we knew that Dieta was going to do that as soon as we saw that she overheard. She basically begs for understanding. Like, Essek is young, he's naive, he doesn't understand yet. It's like, no, don't think that's quite it. I think he just doesn't believe.
Yeah, he's more scientific than religious.
He's giving too autistic for the cult, you know?
Yeah, which, you know what? So valid in every single way.
Yep.
But also that checks out. Also, interestingly, it's like she doesn't tell the Bright Queen everything. She only tells her that Essek knew about her illness and that he lied about her not being ill. But I don't think she mentions the beacon.
No,
yeah.
Still trying to protect him because it's the later scene. It's not far, actually, only a couple scenes in the future at the execution where when she hugs him, she goes, "Fucking bring the fucking beacon back, you fucking dickhead." Idiot.
Maybe it's my lack of maternal instincts, but I swear if my child started a war, I'd be like...
It's fun. It's actually...
It's like... What?
You know what's funny? I have had this like thought process a lot before, and I think it's because like I don't know if I'll leave like a lot of details about this in because it's like to do with my job, but like because I have worked.
Oh yeah, maybe not.
Because I've worked in the justice system in my state for like over 10 years, and I've had a lot of like really first-hand experience in and around court matters, and like, you know, dealing with people charged with anything from like, you know, petty theft up to like full-on murder, like. And I've seen a lot of those sorts of things, and like I've had this thought process before, which is like I remember specifically like this was like 9 years ago, very long time ago, but a bloke who was like a common name that we saw at the court that I worked at. He was a frequent flyer, I think we used to say, and he at this point in time had been charged again with something, and his parents were back before the court trying to get him bail for like the umpteenth time, to the point that they put up $1 million, which was like their house, which is a caveat on their house, right? And it's like, this guy he's committed crime, granted bail, committed crime, granted bail, committed crime, granted bail, over and over and over again, to the end. Like his parents just kept showing up to like help him get bail. And I remember having this thought process of, at a certain point, I think I would have to just say, you must accept the consequences of your actions.
100%.
There is not much else I can do to help you. You've got to deal with the situation. You're an adult. Yeah. You've got to deal with the situation.
You fix your mess. Yeah, 100%.
And I think, like, ultimately that is the more loving way to parent your kid, is to not find excuses, not try to get them out of trouble, is to let them deal with the consequences of their actions and learn their lesson.
Yeah, agreed 100%.
So I think, like, I at a certain point, like, it's hard to say in this sort of circumstance, right? 'Cause fantasy setting, she's got fantasy Alzheimer's, you know, like...
That's true, actually, yeah. She's basically in a cult.
Yeah, it's a very complex situation, but it is like, you start to wonder, like, how much are you going to do to protect your kid if they just continue to fucking put their foot in it?
And I guess that's sort of what she's trying to do here. She's like, fix it. Like, I'm making a huge sacrifice to get you out of Dodge, but you have to fix the rest of it.
Yeah, which is, it's a very parental thing to do, which is like, fine, I'll throw myself on the grenade and take the majority of these consequences, because that's, you know, what I feel like I have to do as a parent for my kid, but I can only do so much.
Yeah, and I guess we'll get to it later, unless we want to just jump ahead a bit.
I mean, there's really not much in between there. So, like, the only two scenes is that, like, there's a quick brief check-in with Jester at the Pillow Trove, and she's just sort of like, "Traveler, come on,
she's
bro,
crashing out."
Well, fair. Like, bro just up and disappeared. He'd been, like, very regularly communicating with her and then just went nowhere. Like,
fair. Crazy, actually.
Fair for her to be like, "Oi, what's going on, bro?
Where the fuck, man?"
And I just sort of, like, my one note there was, it's such a sad episode, but I can see what they're doing, showing the ways that they all start to crumble when they're on their own, where they were stronger together, right?
Yeah, which I love this recurring theme, and the name of the episode is literally belonging as well. So it's like they're really hammering that theme, which is really nice.
Stronger together vibe, you know, better together vibe. And then we do another brief flash into back to Molly investigating that house that he followed Cree to, and he sees the his likeness.
Creepy blood mural.
His likeness up in this creepy mural thing, and he's just like.
My favorite, and I wrote this down, is where they have that shot of him. His eyes go so wide, and he goes, "Me."
Yeah.
I was like, this is not funny, but it's kind of the delivery of it is really well done. Like this, me.
Yeah.
What? And that's like, what the fuck would you even do when you see that? You're like,
if this were a sitcom, it'd be like that happens, and he like looks behind him. He's like, you know, like me.
What do you mean?
But yeah, like that's just like again, those feel like very brief. Like again, tying things up, getting ready to move on. It feels very brief. So like we could skip over those to Dieter's execution because that feels like a very significant point of the. Not just the episode, but the season.
Yasha just delivered this to me.
Thanks, Yasha.
Thank you, honey.
Thanks for the gift.
She came running in with it, meowing. Thank you. She's trying to feed me because I'm hopeless.
Yeah, she said, bitch, I brought dinner.
Oh, baby, thank you. Okay. Anyways, back on track.
We can brush over those two back to Dieter's execution because I think that's not just a pinnacle moment of the episode, but of the season.
Yeah,
it is the moment that Essek really like has to shed the last of his naivete, and he really does truly turn into campaign Essek here. I think.
Which we were cheering.
When you become consecuted, you will understand true peace.
He ain't gonna do it.
I will not be consecuted in a faith that demands ritual killings of its faithful.
Fair.
Yeah, so fair. Like, fuck that. Like, why would you want to buy into that?
Return the beacon.
She's like, I'm doing this to save your life, fuck ass. Ah, yes, the sacred religious ritual of matricide. Like, what?
Jesus Christ.
And here's where we get campaign Essek.
Hey, I was like, something has to happen.
Yeah. Here comes campaign Essek.
To set him off. Yes.
He's gonna be a little less naive.
Oh, fuck. That. Ouch. And I was waiting, because I was like, they can't have this soft, like.
As soon as you said it, I was like,
Essek.
you're right. There has to be something else. There's got to be some character development going on.
Yeah.
And this feels.
I'm like, otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's like, I think you were like, Mum's gonna get killed, and it's like, Mum's sacrificing herself, throwing herself.
I did not see that coming. Actually, I thought, something else would happen, or like they found out about it and they executed her. But like her sacrificing herself for him, making him be the one to do it as well, was just like insane.
It's like, my note is like, there's something like, it's so insanely traumatizing to essentially force matricide onto your son, even if it's part of your culture, even if it's part of your faith. It's supposed to be a wholesome thing. Forcing that on your son that clearly doesn't believe in this faith that's crazy. And it's just like, but in this world, it would be so normalized.
It's just part of their culture.
It's part of their culture. It's part of their rights. And it's like, but to us, we're like, it's fucked. Like, I'm choosing. You have to kill me. Here you go. Here's a knife. Stab me.
Yeah, and you don't have a choice. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Because if you say no, like, that's almost even worse. And
it's like, and I think I said during the clip when we were watching, I also was like, it's crazy though, is that like, this is the natural course that a soul's supposed to take. Like, the idea that we get of the Luxon in both, like, in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount and in the show, just in the campaign in general, is that it feels like a bit of a perversion of nature, right?
It is.
It's a perversion of nature because they are intercepting these souls, traveling through the veil, and storing them in the beacon to be reborn. But when the consecution is ended and they're killed outside of the range of the beacon, the soul is allowed to take its natural path, but like we don't know what the natural path is because there theoretically isn't a realm for the souls of people who followed the Luxon, because the Luxon isn't a prime deity in the way that we understand prime deities in this world.
Yeah.
It's curious. Like I would love to pick Matt's brain about where that soul goes.
I wonder if we'll ever learn more about that, like in the animated show.
In the book, in Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, it said that like the Lolth, the Spider Queen, who was one of the main deities of Drow, pre-Luxon in this world, is pissed about the Luxon and does not like that a lot of her followers have been taken away by this new religion. So I'm like I'm like curious as to whether like maybe the soul is diverted back into the realm of Lolth, and is it like a punishment when they get there? Is it like purgatory or hell or something like that? I'd be curious. I'd love to like. It's one of those things where it's like I'm sure it'll come up in a fireside chat or something eventually.
Surely, yeah.
I've got to make
sure
there's
I'm so much
keeping
more
my ear out for it.
Well, someone will find it if it ever comes up, I'm sure.
This scene ends with just a little tiny reminder of the Bright Queen's hypocrisy.
So juicy.
Because she knows she's got Typhros too, and it's so unbelievably hypocritical of her to be clinging on to power.
God, yeah.
And it honestly makes me wonder whether... It makes me wonder whether Essek could have gone to her and said, listen, I get that it's like religion, but can I also just do a little research to see if I can fix this Typhros shit? Because I feel like she probably would have just said yes.
I think she would have. I think she is also a very complex character who has
intelligent
this position of leadership. Yeah, that as well. Where like I think she would
8 or 9 lifetimes, something like that. Like she would have an unbelievable amount of wisdom and knowledge under her belt, and like it almost like speaks to Essek's naivete, right? Which is like he's so afraid of getting in trouble, of doing the wrong thing, of being seen as contrarian to the culture, that he commits treason before he thinks about going to the Queen and saying like, hey, I've like not even necessarily revealing that his mother's got Typhros, just going, hey, have you ever thought about maybe like getting someone to look into see if there's like a cure for Typhros? Like I know it's a religion thing, but maybe we could do a little magic too.
Yeah, why not?
Because like I mean, what's crazy is that magic is such a basis. Magic and religion aren't separate things in this world. They are very much inherently interconnected, because clerics are granted like divinational powers through their gods, like, and that is magic of a kind. And so it's weird to me that like, not weird, but it's curious the difference in the Kryn dynasty and the culture between like, you know, no, we don't want to like treat this as scientific magic, blah 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 blah, because it's religion. It's like it can be both. It is both.
It can, yeah. It's almost like there's two sides of magic. There's like the religious magic, and then there's like the scientific magic, which I guess is like your wizards and there's
also
stuff,
like,
which is interesting.
But there's also nature. There's druids. There are, and there's also like, I guess another version of like nature magic is sorcerer, because it's usually like driven from blood,
like innate,
or whatever.
Right? Yeah,
innate. Yeah. So there's like natural, scientific, like knowledge-based magic, and there's also divination magic, and they're so also interwoven and connected.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all still like magic and arcane, you know. It's curious, like, I don't. It's not even that it's like, I'm sure it's like purposeful. Like, it's a curious thing to look at the way the different cultures react and treat these things.
For sure.
Because you know? Like
my mic's just falling out of its thing.
Because the Empire is very research, knowledge, scientific, like find the limits of this power as much as physically possible. Whereas the Kryn is almost like, don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. It is what it is. Don't fuck with it.
Don't poke the bear.
Which is like,
don't poke the bear.
And also, I feel like it could, like, I'm not sure if they will, like, this is like stuff that's coming to, like, I'm kind of incepting these thoughts right now in the moment, but I'm wondering whether they will play into that a little bit in the future, in terms of just like the display of the very different culture between the Empire and Rosohna, because like the vibe in the campaign is absolutely like the Empire is very Western, very Western, and Rosanna is seen as exotic. You know, like it's alien kind of like. And they're displaying that already in the themes of like racism and shit, right?
Yeah.
So,
they're really leaning into the like political.
I'll be curious to see if they
stuff,
sort of get
which
into
is
that
fun.
cultural difference of like, you know, especially like I feel like it will come up. It would most likely come up once Essex with the Nine, like way like seasons down the line at this point. But it's gonna be like I feel like it'd be one of those things that comes out in a conversation between Essex and Caleb. Like, you know,
sure.
the Empire, we treated magic like this. In Rosanna, we don't think about it that way. Like, I really like those are the things that I'm like really curious about. Hello, Yasha. Yes, we're getting there.
She's
sorry.
rubbing all over the microphone. She's like, "Hurry up."
We're getting to the Yasha bit. It's okay.
We're so close, honey. Don't worry.
The next scene is Bo almost getting lucky.
I had a quick point just on that. The whole execution scene, more kind of like from the visual side. Something that I really love about this show is like the art direction, the cinematography, like the blocking and all of that is just so well done. We have that really like heartbreaking shot of like her soul sort of like leaving her, and there's this little shot of like Essex kind of just like reaching out his hand as like her soul floats away, and it's just like it's really sad. And I just love the way they kind of showed that kind of through that, the way
there's
they
a little bit of a
staged
parallel.
that.
It's a little bit of a parallel with Rat later on.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say again, like this is like end game spoilers for end of campaign, is like they're kind of also leaning into like the Shadowgast like parallels a bit as well, which is kind of
cool.
interesting to see that kind of laying the groundwork.
I think I've said this. I don't know if it was probably in a previous episode. I'm sure I said this, but like I'm gonna have pretty critical words if there is not the same amount of effort being put into Boyasha than there is in Shadowgast. It's gonna fucking 100%. Piss me off. It's really gonna fucking piss me off if there is all of this really intricate, nuanced work put into Shadowgast and Boyasha just gets... I'm gonna be so pissed. I don't think they will.
Me too.
I don't think they will, but it's like that inherent fear of like, they always fucking shove the lesbians to the side. They always fucking shove the lesbians to the side in favor of the fucking twinks. Oh!
It always happens. So it's like, I feel like having that fear is 100% valid, because more often than not, that's the reality of it. So I'm like, I'm not going to blindly trust, because I feel like that's how you set yourself up for disappointment as well. So I'm remaining cautiously optimistic.
But I've got my fucking eye on you.
Oh yeah,
and
I got both my gay ass eyes on you.
If I sense just even a slight hint of favoritism towards Shadowgast in the writing, I'm gonna be mad.
Me too. I think a lot of people will.
Good
as well. There's gonna be. So I feel like,
to be fair, Boyasha was building long before Shadowgast was.
Well, Shadowgast happened after campaign, really.
They didn't even know Essig existed until like episode 50. Or like later. Like,
yeah, it's definitely...
Boyasha had an extra 50 episodes to be building, even if Yasha wasn't there sometimes. There was still,
it was still building, remember? I toss and turn, hoping to hear thunder.
Oh,
Bastards.
The yearning. Anyway.
The yearning. We'll get to that at the end of this episode, like future... all that fun stuff.
The next scene is Bo almost getting lucky, but then you stink.
So close though. Which I think. Sorry, you go.
Here's my note. Love the blatant display of lesbianism. Please continue to be explicit.
I'm sure they will.
And then also the "you fucking stink" and "maybe next time, cutie" was actually like really sweet to me for some reason. Like, it kind of hit me because it was like she didn't get mean or dismissive. She wasn't like, oh fuck, gross, nasty. She was like, take a bath, maybe next time.
I'm out for this time, but like,
she wasn't rude.
I liked it too.
And I think it is sort of par for the course in like, I'll talk about it. I've got notes about it for in the bathhouse scene. in a little bit, but it feels very par for the course in the world that we're in. It's very casual. It would be very normal in this world for someone to be a little stinky and not realize it, because like they're not living in the modern world like we are, where we each have a shower in our home and, you know, flowery bath products to like in deodorant and stuff like that. They've got to find a town with a bathhouse to go to. Like it is a medieval fantasy show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do think this was that the vibe matches the attitude.
Yeah, 100%. I do think this scene was like a little bit of foreshadowing for like Boyasha as well, because it's like this big, strong, buff woman.
Just a quick FYI, she's gay.
Yeah.
That's this whole scene. Quick FYI, if you hadn't figured it out from the abs and the no sleeves, gay.
Some people hadn't.
Undercut.
I will say.
Undercut, no sleeves, washboard abs, dyke.
Also, like, very masculine. Like, she lives in this masculine...
But it's also, like... I also love that, like, people are... Like, there's part of me that really enjoys the fact that people are open-minded enough to see a really masked woman like that and think she could be bi. Maybe. Because some people are.
Or is it just delusion?
It could be a little bit delusional, but it is also kind of fun to be like... It's nice for people to feel open enough, despite, like, you know, they're not pigeonholing these characters into tropes.
Yeah,
I do
especially
enjoy
I feel like
fans,
for the world it's in, right?
Yeah, and I just enjoy that new fans are feeling free enough to ship wacky shit like that, because let me tell you,
why the hell not?
People would have been getting attacked for that in campaign 2.
Like, oh my god, yeah.
It would have been a mess. So I'm glad that they feel free and open enough to be like, oh, maybe them, and the rest of us are like, maybe.
No, but like,
maybe.
Just pat you on the back. You're close.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it's nice that, like, I'm glad you guys have got that creative freedom to think about it that way, because that wasn't the experience we had in the campaign.
No, not at all. But yeah, what I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, I feel like this is also a bit of like subtle foreshadowing for Boyasha, because it's like this big buff
lady,
strong lady, but who is also like quite feminine as well, which we kind of see that with Yasha later on.
That's why I think
so like Bo has a type,
good.
right? Yeah, Bo has a type, right? And obviously she doesn't quite get what she wants because she kind of stank.
She does,
but we know. But we know who likes.
Like, does she? Because I was thinking about Rini, and I was like, no, Rini's a paladin. That's buff. Like, she's got type, and Kang is dwarf, so like buff, like stocky.
For sure.
Cool. Sorry, anyway.
Good.
No, but what I was gonna say, Boyasha. Like, I was posting TikToks about this pre the season airing. I don't know if you remember. I was posting a couple of TikToks about Boyasha being like really significant representation in the scheme of things, because you consider how little happily ever after lesbian representation exists in TV and all that sort of stuff. But specifically, they are a mask couple, which they're both like mask presenting people, but they also aren't pigeonholed into that either. There is still softness and femininity to them, and like Bo can rip it out. She doesn't love doing it, but she can pull it out.
No. It's interesting because I actually think Yasha is more feminine. She just is very buff and strong. So it's like, it's
the masculinity,
easier.
I think people read the stoicness and like the what's the word? Like
broodiness.
Yeah, like broodiness, like it's like the very seriousness, like the very straightforward, like that kind of thing. I think that viewing is like masculine. She's come across as mask in the series so far, but in the campaign, it's dispelled immediately as soon as she starts speaking, because she's very like soft spoken, and she's very gentle. And that's what I like. I like the dichotomy of that. The difference between the way she looks and the way she acts is very, like, I think inherent to her character. But definitely. Like, I remember, like, the reason I was talking about in that TikTok as a mask, like, two essentially, like, mask for mask couple and or a femme mask couple, because I was comparing it to Bo Jester and that whole argument about like, oh, Boyasha is a queer ship for straight people, and it's like, out of Boyasha and Bo Jester, of the two of those, if we had to pick who's going to be more appealing to straight people, it's Bo Jester. It's not Bo Yasha.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, people don't
that's much more
like
of a
mask ships.
No, they don't.
It's just the reality.
Because firstly, it's harder for them to understand in terms of gender dynamics. They're like, wait, who's the top? Don't mind your business, first of all. And like, secondly, it's also harder for them to sexualize. Way harder for them to sexualize. And like, that's why most lesbian couples in TV representation history have been two femmes or a femme butch couple, because it's easy to sexualize.
That's very rare. But the way, it's usually
still super
two
rare.
femmes.
Still super rare.
Which is crazy, man.
It's easier to sexualize and easier for people to understand in terms of like gender dynamics, and like that's pretty much it. And so that's why I'm like, Bo Yasha is refreshing as fuck, because even if Yasha is technically like femme in the scheme of things, visually they aren't the couple that like straight audiences would be like.
Yeah, you can't assign them those gender roles.
Yeah, you
at
can't
all, which
pigeonhole
is nice.
them, and I like that. They are complex, nuanced characters.
For sure. What I was saying before, you know what? I feel like the moment's passed. We can just keep going.
Where did ping pong back?
I feel like I tried to say it like 3 times. And
sorry.
Didn't. All good. We can move on. It's all good.
What was it? Now I feel bad.
No, it's all good. We can. It is so like not even important. So it's all good. It's like the ship. The moment
I'm trying not
sailed.
to talk too much.
It's all good.
My meds are starting to wear off too. It's about 7.
It happened. Life happens, you know. Where are we up to? Okay. So the next scene I titled "Self-Sabotage at a Fountain."
Yeah, I think I remember talking about this in the moment when we watched it as well. But the main note I've got here is that it feels like a little bit of a, I don't know if like a racism is the right way to refer to it, but it's like this. It's like you expect me to act like this, so I'm just going to fucking fulfill your expectations because fuck you. Like, you expect me to be a savage, you expect me to be, you know, this, and that feels like I'm a white person, so I can't speak for people of color at all, but it does feel like that note of like placing expectations on minority groups of people and expecting them to act a certain way and trying to force them into that, again, pigeonhole them into a certain type of person, and you know, being so frustrated by being assigned those descriptors and being assigned those things that are just not you, and just being like, oh, fuck you, fine, I'll do what you want me to do then. I'll just fucking be a savage in the middle of the street. Fuck off. Like, I really
I'm a goblin, so I might as well act like one.
Yeah, like, it almost like, if I can like sort of try and relationally talk about it, it almost like, it kind of pings a little bit for me in terms of like masculinity, which is like, you expect me to be toxic. Like, I'm a trans man that is like I don't have a bone of toxic masculinity in my entire body because I built my identity in my 20s after living for 21 years on this planet as a woman. I've got a lot of perspective to be able to, you know, build a healthy 100%. Identity of masculinity. But there are so many people in this world who will just see a man and want to prescribe toxic masculinity to him. And go, oh, you're toxic because you're a man. It's like, well, fuck you. Fine, then. I'll be toxic if that's what you're going to fucking prescribe to me. Fuck off. Like, I get that feeling of like, you don't get to place your expectations on me. You don't.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it's nice that Jester kind of finds her in this moment as well, because Jester is such this like beautiful light in the party, right? Where she always sees the good in everyone. She sees everyone's, like, what they see as their flaws, she sees them as this positive, amazing thing, and it's just I like that we're getting the chaos crew, you know. Like,
like literally my last dot point is the start of the chaos crew.
It's happening. It's happening.
Love that.
Scared the cat.
All good. And then the next, I've got quite a few notes for this bathhouse scene. Partially what I was talking about before with the stinky bow, which is that it is just so refreshing for it to be just normal. Like, Bo and Ford are standing there butt naked looking at each other. They don't blink. There's no joke. There's no gimmick. It's not like, ew, penis from like the lesbian. Yeah. It's just normal because that's the world they live in. I like that shit.
It's just like body parts, right? Like, it doesn't...
Yeah. It's not
normal. Significant.
And I just like, it seems so small, but I appreciate it so much.
I had very, very similar thoughts about that scene as well. And like, there's no weird, like, I feel like, if this was to happen in any other show, a man and a woman naked in a bathtub together, there'd be weird, like,
Sexual
sexual
tension,
undertones or
yeah.
sexual tension. But it's like, it's just normal. They're just
No,
like,
they're having a
what I
bath.
titled this scene, two bros in a bathtub.
Two bros chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because they are
Because
gay.
they're not gay.
Because they are. Bo is gay.
Bo is gay.
But yeah, like there's no ew dicks. There's no. It's not, the moment isn't cheapened by a gimmicky joke, and I just appreciate that so much because it's also quite a. Maybe not this exact moment, but the next time we flash back to the bath with them, it's a very vulnerable moment between them. They are quite honest with each other. They're sharing, sharing what they're like afraid of, essentially. Like, oh, I'm a fuck up. I can't do anything right. Like on Bo's part, and it's again the beginning of that bros sort of like encouraging each other. Like no, you stop being this hard on yourself. It's not all you. Like it's just. I really enjoyed like the what's the word, like how genuine the moment was. It wasn't, nothing took away from it, nothing made it feel cheap. It was just really authentic.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of like metaphorical in a way, right? Because they are like stripped down bare, and it's like this is naked, where they're able to be vulnerable with each other.
Yeah,
it's like there's nothing getting in the way of that, and I really like that scene. Also, we got to see Ford's butt, so like
booty.
We got to see that booty.
And I as like I don't like I made a note about it because we talked about it in the reaction clips too, but the start of this scene where it's just Ford getting in the bath on his own with the cloven crystal, big goblet of fire. Big goblet of fire. Oh my energy.
God, yeah.
I mean, like, fuck that woman in that series, but big goblet of fire energy.
She's not making money off this podcast.
Am I watching Hyper 4? I don't know.
It was literally the same vibes with the golden egg and whatever the fuck happens
going
in that
underwater,
movie. I've not
trying
seen
to figure it out. Neither.
Yeah.
Fuck if I'm watching it.
I don't plan on it.
Hey, JK.
Watching it ever again, actually. So.
Not watching the new series, not listening to the audiobook. Shan't.
Get out of my face, pretty much.
Beach. Anyway.
I did have one quick.
Just a quick pit stop to shit on JK. Now we'll move on.
Oh yeah, you can't not. If you presented the opportunity, you have to just talk a bit of shit about her. One note I had for this scene is I feel like this is the interesting part of Ukutora as well. Is like he's really pushing forward towards like anger, like finding his anger. Where is your anger? And we see that in episode 8 as well, sort of like come to fruition a bit, and we see Jester's reaction to that, and I think that's going to be a really interesting dynamic between the two of them as well in future seasons.
That does feel like a little bit of like this whole idea of like masculinity wasn't a super present theme in Ford's arc in the campaign. Like because I think it's just a different vibe, like different format. He was finding himself in a TTRPG. There's got to be, I think, a little bit more substance to it for a show, and I really like that they've chosen this point of masculinity, and it feels like they're going to go towards this pull of like what I'm really hoping, because like we know what the vibe of the Wild Mother is. Spoilers. Big spoiler. Huge spoilers. Big spoiler. Oh my God. Because we know what the vibe of the Wild Mother is, I'm really hoping they're going to go for that. Really, it's not like maybe super direct, but a more direct, like toxic versus healthy masculinity, sort of like don't lean into anger and hatred and violence. That's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to progress you anywhere. You lean into the gentle, healing, loving masculinity. It's almost like it's like soldier versus like almost like fatherly.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially. I really enjoy, like, that seems where it's going for Ford, and I really enjoy that. And I think it's going to create a really awesome vibe with Caduceus. It's going to be so good.
Oh my God. I'm so impatient. I need season 2 like right now.
Especially because I was just talking about like the parallel with Not of like, it feels a little bit like people will see, someone like me not know that I'm a trans man, just see a man, and or immediately want to prescribe toxic traits to me because they just expect that of you. It's like almost to say, like, I appreciate if it's where it's going, and it seems like it is, this like growth of Ford becoming like a gentle, charismatic like leader, and him still being like a really like, I want to say noble because it feels like not quite the right word, but you know, like I don't want to be like, because like noble and chivalrous starts to lead into like performative territory. I don't want to get there, but like
I get what you mean though, like
know
the
what I mean?
sort
Like
of vibe you're going for,
the healthy, like emotionally forward, emotionally mature kind of masculinity. That is something that is so absent in a lot of media these days. And if that's what Critical Role's going for, I applaud them for it, because we need better examples like that a lot.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I feel like, especially in this day and age, in the big 2025, it's like there is that kind of like the alt-right pipeline and all this kind of stuff that young men are falling into.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like having more representation to show like what a healthy version of masculinity can look like, where you embrace the vulnerability, you embrace the softness, and I feel like it's just really refreshing as well. And it just like, fits Ford so well. He's got that
Ford,
vibe.
It fits Travis, because like Travis is like such Travis Willingham is an incredibly good example of really healthy, emotionally forward masculinity. He's like a
100%.
fantastic role model, not just in terms of like, you know, as like an actor, as the CEO of Critical Role, but as a father, as a husband. Like if you watch Campaign 2, the big reason that there are some plot points early in the game is because Laura's pregnant with their first child, right? 2018, halfway through the year is when she gives birth to Ronan. And like there are moments leading up to that where Laura's like getting increasingly pregnant and is like obviously increasingly struggling with things that come with that. There's a couple of moments where like you can she's talked about it in interviews afterwards. She's dealing with so many like pregnancy hormones that she's like filled with rage, and she's like trying to stay calm.
There's that one moment where she looks like she's gonna kill Matt.
Yeah, and there's a moment where she actually gets up and walks away from the table, where she goes, "Yeah, laugh it up." And as she walks away, she goes, "I'm pregnant." Sort of like to dispel the sort of tension, because everyone's like, "Is she okay?"
Whoa,
I'm fucking pregnant, and it's like, fair. You would, especially because like it was a night where she was rolling like absolute shit, and the dice were just not in my favor. I'd be crashing out too. Even if I wasn't pregnant, I'd be crashing out. So fucking fair.
Absolutely.
But like, there's moments where like Laura goes, in character, I want a like as Jess, I want a donut, and then she goes, no, but I actually really want a fucking donut. Like she's pregnancy cravings, and like within seconds, like Travis is on his phone ordering like fucking 60 donuts from Krispy Kreme on Postmates,
and they show up.
And they're like, don't show the. They show the logo. It's really funny.
They show it so many times.
But like, back to the original point, like it feels like this is like a very good, like a perfect arc for Ford to display in the animated series, because of like who Travis is, and that because that's the energy that Travis brings. He's a very protective, loving, fatherly figure in a lot of ways. I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think seeing that early on, kind of with his dynamic with Bo as well, is I think that's going to be a really fun relationship to see continue to grow in the animated show as well. Like those two, they're just, I love their dynamic.
I especially I'm really excited to see the way Bo rubs off on him too, because like that is part of it. It's a give and take. It's not just Ford mentoring Bo. It's both. It's going both ways. They're working out a little bit, you know. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I love their little workouts sessions they do together. It's just so sweet. Yeah, I love them. And I love that we're seeing it this early as well, like the bros.
Love it.
So good. Love them.
The next scene is we jump back to the Dawnfather's temple for the Chaos Crew.
And it's just Chaos Crew fuckery, pretty much.
Very much like, this is like big, just as like I desperately need the attention of the Traveler, so I'm going to do a big moment, trash this temple, and see what happens. And I also I really love that it was like a, not just for her to call out to the Traveler, because like it is in a way for her, it is kind of a religious ritual for her. You think about the fact that her religion is kind of based in trickery.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, for her to practice her religion, she kind of has to fuck around with people. That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
But I also like it was also something to cheer Not up. Sort of to bring her back in and make her feel better. Be like, let's just go fuck something up. Screw it, you know?
Yeah, why not? Let's draw some dicks in a religious temple, because why not?
So funny. And then
I
I like, really great way to both break the tension and the sadness of the episode a little bit, whilst also still driving a bit of character development and bonding between the two of them. Clever way to sort of bring that connection even closer together, and it also sort of sets up like they're coming together at the end of the episode, because it's not and Jester that really bring everyone back in. They're like, nah, all right, everyone, we're not doing this shit alone. Get your asses
back
huddle
here.
Huddle up.
Right now. Yeah.
Let's be motherfucking heroes.
Oh, yeah. And I like that we get to see this kind of other side of Jester, where she's... You see her sadness and her frustration and her abandonment issues, and I like that they kind of flip that, and then it's like Not's the one comforting her and telling her that, you know, no one's perfect, everyone's crazy, the whole world is crazy.
Yeah,
and
Bo
then
cuts the
Jester
sleeves off
that
of
great...
perfectly good shirts.
Yeah, I love
Favorite
that.
line.
And then Jester kind of goes at the end, well, it's, you know, it's easier to be crazy around other crazy people, and then there's that through line of the episode where it's like, you need your people.
Family.
Oh yeah,
you need your people. So it's so much more fun to be kooky crazy with other kooky crazy people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have as much 100%. Fun doing this podcast on my own as a Yap into the Void.
I feel like I would still watch
together.
that though. Yeah, but we gotta be crazy together. Yap together, probably, actually. But it's not as entertaining, you know? You want two idiots, like, just with one brain cell bouncing between them, pretty much.
Playing pong back and
if
forth.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like my last two notes were Bo cuts the sleeves off of perfectly good shirts, and the whole "we're all crazy" speech is perfect, which is like, we're all crazy in the way that none of us are crazy. We're just people with nuances and differences and quirks. Like,
trying to get through this crazy world.
Yeah, that world especially is uber duper super crazy.
I don't want to be in that world.
Yeah, loved that. And then we bounce back to the bros in the hot tub again, which is again very vulnerable. Like, Ford is quite open with Bo, and I think it's really, what I really loved about it was that Ford is the one who sort of leads the way in that moment. He's like, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't understand it. Like, the shit coming out of my, like, and Bo sort of makes a bit of a joke, like tries to break the tension a little bit. It's like, I don't know how I got this way. What, green? What? No.
Yeah. No.
Shit shooting out of my hands. And she's like, well, it's kind of cool though. Like, it's you know, you got power. And it's like that, the moment of like, he sort of sheds the mask a little bit. And goes like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm doing. And then Bo feels comfortable to do the same. She sort of, again, sheds the mask and goes, oh, you know, you're not special. I'm a complete fuck up. I started a war. I did this. And then what's that?
Bitch, you can't start a war on your own.
You can't
and he's
do
right.
That shit on your own. Fact. Like,
She did not start the war. If anyone started the war, it was that
Essek,
purple bitch.
Who's that twink with that cunty bang?
Yeah, like, if you're gonna point fingers at anyone,
it's you know, it was so funny. Bangs versus Bobs with the fucking cold open. Next
oh my
episode.
God!
We'll come back to that. But yeah, the moment that, like, again, that sort of really culminates that, like, that really nice, vulnerable, quiet moment where they're sharing weaknesses in a way that doesn't make them, either of them, feel defensive. Bo says, "You said that in a way that didn't make me want to hit you."
Yeah.
And that she's sort of like, I
just love them.
I've never been able, like, nobody's criticized me in a way that I've, like, appreciated before.
Yeah. And it's like getting constructive feedback.
Yeah, and I think it's like her sort of being like, this is what it's like to be on equal footing with someone and have that give and take in a relationship, which is really cool.
Yeah. Good stuff, honestly. I can't wait for more.
We can prove we're not a bag of idiots.
Yeah, so the end of that conversation is Ford sort of goes, well, what if we could try and help stop the war? And then we get that sort of like thread that leads into the next episode, I guess.
Yeah. We have another very brief check-in with Molly. He's like confused walking through the street, and then he gets knocked down and he sees the Harvest Festival sign, and he's like, "You're right. Fine. I get it, fate. You don't need to shove it in my face." And he sort of like turns the other way and walks back. And I wrote here, really succinctly displays Molly's aimlessness. He really doesn't know where to go or what to do because he's got no pass, and after losing the carnival, has probably lost all sense of self.
Yeah,
which is why
100%.
I think, even though he's trying to run from his past, he cannot let the Kree thread go. That's why he ends up following her, because he's like, over the past, however many weeks, days, I've lost everything. I've no idea who I am. I have no idea what my past is. This is the only heading I've got. So it's all I can really do.
Yeah. And it's also, I feel like that is fate telling him to like go back to the Nine. Because I forget what the Harvest thing says. It's something like, something, you're alone, go make some friends.
There's a screenshot. Hold on.
Oh, yes.
I did
Smart.
Screenshot.
Oh, here it is. It says, feeling alone, make some friends. Which I think is very much like telling him, go back to this crazy group of people. They're your friends at this point. Like, he's made close connections with them. So I feel like that was a fun little moment. And then part of me was clowning and being like, maybe he'll find Yasha, but I already knew she wasn't going to be in this episode. So
I really hate that we predicted that she's basically not in the season at all. Like, it frustrates me a lot, but at the same time, like, the way that it's come together and knowing that they've got season 2 pretty much completely plot out and ready to go, I'm not as angry about it as I thought I would be, because I'm like, okay, I still have trust that this is going to be made up in season 2.
I definitely think they'll make up for it, because they know, they've been seeing what people have been saying. So
we've been vocal about it in Beacon.
Yeah, which is good. And this is something I say all the time. It's like, if you want the media you consume to get better, you have to give constructive feedback. Otherwise, it's just going to stay the same.
And it's constructive.
And it's like, as long as you're a good sport about it.
Yeah,
it's
constructive,
like,
kind. Don't be like a whining little bitch on Twitter who's just like, me, with no like real constructive point. Just like, anyway. We'll come back to the Yasha bit. That's like a later.
Yeah. That's a later.
We're 141, so 143 now, so we're probably gonna have to split this in 2.
I kind of thought that would happen. I was like, I feel like even though like there wasn't a lot of like big plot stuff, there's still a lot. We love to yap, so I feel like it's fine to split in 2.
It's all right. We're almost at the end of episode 7 though. Next is the scene of the Astrid and Wolf chasing down Caleb. Which, like, one of my dot points here is they're talking as though they don't care for him anymore, but I think we know it's not true. Like, the sole fact that Astrid, they're trying to find him before they've even told Trent that he's here, speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I think they also, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you can tell they know each other too well. Way too well.
And it's like, even if you, for whatever reason, have, like, if they have a dislike for him or something, it's like they still went through all of that deeply traumatic stuff together, and that is still, like, even if it's not, like, friendly love, it's like there's still love of some capacity there because of all that, like, shared trauma.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's like, that's not easy to let go of.
But I think, like, honestly, the vibe that I got, so, like, this is my next dot point, like, what Astrid says is, you haven't had to do what we've done. And it really reads to me like it's not just that Astrid blames him for leaving. Astrid blames him for not being there. Like it's almost like she's jealous that he got out.
100%. I got that vibe as well.
And I think I think she's more angry at Caleb because she wants to escape. Not necessarily that, like, you betrayed us, because this is a very noble cause. It reads like she knows this isn't a noble cause, and she's upset that he got out and she didn't.
Yeah. I feel like there's almost even an element of like, why didn't you take me with you?
Yeah, like, why'd you abandon us here in this? And like the way that they talk about Trent as well, like, are you here for Master? He must be stopped. Like,
it's very detached.
It's very detached, and like I think I've said in possibly previous pod episodes, but definitely in the reactions vids, which is that like this is part of Trent's mistake, part of Trent's, you know, blind lust for power, and like his, you know, pure unadulterated belief that he's, you know, got everything under control. He can't see that he's made the three of them too codependent on each other, and that they will be loyal to each other before they're loyal to him, because
and that will eventually be his downfall.
Exactly, because in this scene they let him go. They should immediately bring him to Trent. Like that
but they don't.
That would be their standing order. If you see Bren, he comes here immediately. But they go, we owe you one, just one. We're letting you go. Go live a life. You know,
but like, don't show your face again.
And that shows that they have, even if they don't want to admit it, more allegiance to Caleb than they do to Trent.
I'm having to take my mic.
It's okay.
The thingy that keeps it on the desk just like fell off. What the fuck, man?
I can also say, like, yeah, my Doppler's like, they care for him too much to kill him. And then they seem to, what I find interesting is that they seem to have come to this agreement to let him go before they get to that moment. Like, they don't confer with one another. They've talked about this before. If we find Caleb, we're going to let him go. We're going to try and
give him a second chance.
Give him a life. And that, again, just shows Trent's fucked up by making them care about each other too much.
Yeah, for sure. Something that really stuck out to me in this scene as well is just Caleb is showing no emotions. He's like, yep, just kill me. Just do it. Like, he
just sort of resigns to it immediately. And he also, like, I think it's after Astrid says, you haven't had to do what we've done. He says, like, he just very solemnly says, I'm sorry, Astrid.
Which I don't think she was expecting to hear.
No, I think I've got a screenshot in there where she's like quite shocked. Like the two Astrid back to back. Where she's like, what do you mean you're sorry? Like, it's that, like, it's almost like the confrontation of like,
I've got it.
It's like I think like she is expecting Caleb to lash out at her in return. But his resignation of just like, I know, I'm sorry, I think jolts her. She's like, whoa.
Yeah. And I feel like that's partially because of this time he's spent with Not and the Nine that kind of allows him to almost have that kind of softness and not kind of let go of that selfishness as well, that we see bits and pieces of that side of him. But like, I feel like in this moment he's being very human about it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I would love to, like, I'd love to get a glimpse into, like, you know, I kind of hope we get a bit of a glimpse into like more like that, like possibly that conversation that they had about Caleb pre running into him. Like, what do we do if we find him again? Like, I'm so fascinated by that sort of relational aspect of it, you know?
Yeah, because they've got an interesting dynamic, those two, like without Caleb. And then it's like when he's in the mix, it also sort of changes the dynamic a bit. Yeah. So it's all very fascinating and very complex.
Yeah. It's I'm sort of curious as to whether, I don't know if they've really made it apparent whether Astrid and Eardwolf are still sort of a romantic pairing together, because they've kept it very vague. It kind of makes me like, I wonder if losing Caleb like completely destabilized their relationship, and that's why it's tough.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Like, they don't seem like, I mean, even when Astrid found Bren and Bren/Caleb again, she didn't tell him right away either. No. Like, she kept that to herself, which I think is quite significant.
Yeah.
She reveals it later, obviously, but like, she keeps it to herself for a bit.
Fascinating.
It's very interesting. The next scene I've just titled "Bye Bye Virat."
Mine says Essek throws Virat under the bus.
Which both are accurate, and I feel like we get our first look at Essek as the Shadow Hand, because that's where the Shadow Ghast name comes from.
Yeah.
Where he's by the Bright Queen, and we're seeing Campaign Essek now.
Yeah. Well, my first dot point is he is Campaign Essek in all his glory.
In all his
cold, calculating, just
evil
without
glory.
hesitation throwing one of his closest friends under the bus.
Well, the Bright Queen even refers to Virat as Essek's best friend.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cold. It is cold.
One of my dot points is also Virat doesn't get to have kids now.
I know that's what I thought of when I saw his head rolling across the ground. I was like, this man never got to become a father, even though I'm pretty sure in episode 1 Essek goes, you'll get your chance.
Naive.
Not anymore.
One of my last dot points is the way he just coldly falls in line, and we know it's a complete fucking act. This cold ass bitch and his cunty bang.
That cunty bang, man.
But like, that's what's crazy. What's crazy is that whole scene. He still doesn't believe in the Luxon. It is an act. It is a cold, calculated act to keep himself close to the seat of power.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's going to be, I guess we could talk about it at the end of, our episode 8 is like future and like what we're going to see in season 2 with Essek. Because like, I don't know. Me don't know.
We'll touch on that. We're at 1:52, so we should probably try and wrap this one up.
Yeah.
The last two scenes are just like the group coming back together. Which standard, that's kind of was like the theme of the episode was them splitting and then coming back. Caleb realizes he needs the group. He's broken, but the group made him forget. And he sort of says, like, we can leave the Empire, we can give up on revenge, find peace. And then Nut's like, I was thinking something else maybe. Caleb's like, what? He's like, let's be motherfucking heroes. Such a great line. It was so satisfying. Let's be motherfucking heroes.
I loved that. I really loved that scene. And also this like glimpse into Caleb was just gonna disappear and give up on this revenge, which I think is pretty big considering what Trent put him through, and he just is entertaining the idea of like going away somewhere with Not and just
I think he wouldn't have been able to stick with it for long.
I don't think so either.
If he'd gone that way, but like the fact that he was entertaining it at all is pretty big.
Yeah.
And then the close of the episode feels like a cold open and a cold close. We suddenly realize exactly why Nidus's compass was important and who it was for. Campaign fans are like fucking freaking out about this, and new fans are like,
dude,
what's an Aor?
What the fuck is a Nonagon? Well, we get that in next episode. But
I do find it interesting though that like, so what we know about Nidus is that he was from Avalier. Avalier is not Aor. And it was Nidus's compass that points to the crash site of Aor.
I've got a screenshot of that map, and it like points out 4 spots on the map of I think Aor or Islecross. I don't know I can't work out what they're pointing to.
Campaign spoilers. What I recall of the late game arc, so like what essentially like when they're going to fight like Aor was pre-Calamity. There was like floating mage cities. Aor was one of them. Avalier is the one that is focused on in EXU Calamity. That's where like Nidus, Pesha, all them are from. And like what we find out in campaign 2 is like Aor crash landed, right? Like when the Calamity started, it like crashed and like the whole city like broke into parts, and it's like all scattered across Islecross and buried, because it's like 800, 900 years old or whatever. Or like long, no, because the Calamity went for like 1,000 years, so I think it's more like 2,000 or something like that. But when they first go into like investigate, the map they get has like A1, A2, A3, like different little crash sites where just a little bit of the city fell. So I think that's what it's referring to.
That would make sense.
But like the curiosity for me is Nidus was from Avalier, so maybe it's just supposed to be one of those hand wavy. He had a compass that points to floating mage cities, so he also had one for Aor,
which would check out.
Which would check out. Like, he was a pirate. It was kind of the point. Like he was the pirate. He was the last dragon of Avalier, and he had skyships and shit. So maybe that's it. I was like, maybe I'm just thinking too deeply about it. But I'm like, is there going to be a connection there? Because like, if the Calamity movie's on its way,
and it's like they could have rewritten that slightly as well to sort of fit it into the storyline. So it's like, we'll see.
Yeah,
we need that Calamity movie, man.
And then we also see Vess get an eye, which is like, I don't think that's something we're going to find out more about for a fucking while.
That's like Endgame.
Yeah.
Shit, man. That's season 6.
Season 7, like
season 7.
Way
far in the future.
But yeah, this felt like a very fast-paced sort of, again, not filler, but like a wrapping loose ends up. Getting the plot moving again after a bit of a side quest episode. I know a lot of people were a bit mid about this episode. I kind of feel the same. It was very, it wasn't like it didn't have like an arc in and of itself that felt very complete. It was very much part of the larger story.
Yeah. And I think it was good because we watched episode 7 and 8 back to back. And so I feel like I didn't have a lot of the same thoughts that other people had, but I think it's because we immediately went on to episode 8 and it flowed really. I think it flowed really well into that. So
yeah, but
on its own, I could see why.
Yeah. Like once I've sat with it and thought about it as its own episode, I'm like, yeah, it was very like not filler, but just like, all right, gotta get the plot moving. Let's go. Like almost trying to like rush out the door a little bit.
Yeah.
Like not in a bad way, just like a necessary thing for the season to come together, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And we got a lot of like, I feel like this episode had a lot of like kind of almost like setting up like plot lines and things we're gonna see much later, like the Eyes of Nine and all the Aor stuff, like getting a glimpse into that was pretty crazy.
Pretty cool. I'm incredibly excited for season 2. I'm bummed that we have to wait.
Bro,
I'm like watch C2, I feel.
Yeah, I almost started that today because I was like, I can't, like, my brain is just fixated on it and I can't stop thinking about it. And it's driving me insane.
I think I need to, like, force myself to, because I was like, maybe what I have to do is force myself to catch up with C4 before I start my C2 rewatch. Because if I start my C2 rewatch, I don't think I'm going to catch up on C4.
I'm going to have the same problem for sure. I'm still on episode 7.
I feel like a huge part of the reason we managed to stay on top of C2 was because we were watching it together. It was like accountability almost.
Yeah, so it's like, bitch, you will sit here and watch this for 4 hours and you will not move.
If we manage to both catch up on C4, we should at least try to watch parties on Discord.
Yeah, definitely.
It can be like a Friday night accountability. We're fucking watching Critical
Role. We're fucking watching this shit, dude.
Because it's like,
gotta happen.
What sucks is like, okay, so I told you, like, I'm struggling to engage with media a lot at the moment because like the world sucks. Big depresso, espresso, whatever the fuck. It's hard to engage with stuff, but when it's a social activity, and also once I sit down and actually get into it, it's easy to get absorbed. Like, especially like Brennan is like an insane storyteller. He weaves an incredible story.
He's crazy good.
And he's been weaving in like all the elements of the story and the narrative and stuff that I'm picking up on in C4. I'm like, I'm into this. Like, the BBEG is the corrupt system. Like, I'm into that big time. But it's hard, like, when I'm not watching it, I'm like, I need to sort of be forced to sit down and start, and then I'm like, oh wait, yeah, no, this is awesome. You know what I mean? I'm like reminded.
I have the same thing. It's like, because it airs at like 1 p.m. for us as well. And I watched, I think, the first 5 episodes like as they were airing, and then I realized I was not focusing enough on my actual job. And I was sitting there and just watching it, and I was like, I can't be doing this. So I stopped doing that.
Yeah, I'm
and
like
then
partway through
that's
episode
when I
5,
started
think.
falling behind. Yeah, but they're on break for a bit of time now.
Got time to catch up.
So a good time to catch up.
But yeah, anyway, we're on 2 hours now. Shall we wrap up?
We'll wrap this up. Any final thoughts, feelings? Not really. I feel like we covered it all.
We got to save it for the end of next episode, and like I'll probably upload them like fairly back to back. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, wait, don't worry, the next one's
it's coming. Don't worry.
It's coming. We're gonna record it like pretty much right after this, and then
pretty much.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay. So long.